The market is volatile, the stocks keep going down. Then boom, we hit new highs. Everything is different now, but you don't gotta chase. Don't panic, don't stress. Time to realign, plan it out, invest. It's the First Fruits Podcast. We elevating with the First Fruits Podcast. No time for waiting, time to grow, give back, reinvest like that. Everything you need to know, the First Fruits Podcast. Let's go.
Man, welcome everybody to another episode of the First Fruits Stock Club. Yeah, definitely happy to be here, man, to discuss money, man, discuss how to build wealth and discuss how to trade. If this is the first time you came to this channel, my name is Donald Green. I'm the founder of the First Fruit Stock Club, and we have a focus on swing trading. It's what we do. We swing trade and helping with a goal of helping people be profitable. My goal is for the club is for people to be profitable trading. A lot of people don't know that like only 10% of all option traders are profitable, right? It's a very small. That means like, 1 out of 10 will be profitable in their trade. So our goal and our focus is to have a profitable account, right? And to build account and to build wealth. And today's topic and today's focus is June, the month of June, and building out a plan for June, right? Um, I and man, first let me just get into the finals, man. Uh New York Knicks. I think it's going to be a great series. And yes, I plan to watch the game. But money comes and focus comes and discipline comes. And it comes with this channel. One thing I was telling my son, and they do basketball training, after school. They have to come home, they have a whole routine. They have to go up to their room, get something to eat after school, then hit the books, right? Study as soon as you come home. All right. And then I usually get home after my wife's, she's home. And we get home after that. And I get home after that. And like I remember they train on Mondays and Wednesdays. So Monday I come in and like, Dad, I don't want to go. Right? I don't want to go. I'm tired. I don't feel like it. And I had to explain to him, sons, I do a lot of things I don't want to do. Right. I love this club, but I definitely want to look at the finals right now. It's on, but I'm dedicated, right, to what I'm doing. And you have to in life, you just got to do things you don't want to do. And that's all about if you want to be successful in life, right? And that's what I'm doing today. I'm here, and why the game is going on, but I'll catch it. It probably won't get good to the fourth quarter anyway. So yeah, this show and probably the focus for here on is it's going to be focused on um, swing trading and how to be a better swing trader, right? And swing trading in regards to options. June has been one of those months where I've had a volatile relationship with. June is a volatile month, period, but I've had some success in June, but I've also had some failures in the month of June, right? Not knowing, um, not picking the right exits, not having the right entries, right? Exits and entries are like the staple point of when you're a swing trader, right? Depending on where you get in and where you get out, that's your profit. That's where your profit is. And sometimes, you can come across a month that's pretty tricky. Well, this month particularly is pretty tricky because we have a lot of things going on. So these are the things that are going on this month, and I want to discuss is first I got into my history of June. It's been a little volatile, and so it's one of those months where some months you can get in and you can trade, and you could get in and trade, and you could be like all in. I'm all in on a particular month, right? But June is one of those months where you really have to be on your p's and q's. You never know when the market's going to draw down or hit a downturn, which we did today. And it looks like from the futures we're going to be down again tomorrow, right? So we have to. June is one of the months we have to be on our p's and q's, and the best way to do this is kind of go into June with a plan, and that's what I'm going to discuss today. Is setting up a plan, but also looking at the month as a totality, right? And I won't do everything today. We'll just go on week by week, and so we can build out a plan to have a successful and profitable June. That's what it's all about. That's why we trade. That's why we swing trade. That's why we invest to have a profitable month. All right. So so I want to get into what will affect our trades this month. What are the risks in the market? Right. Reports to watch. IPO. Right. The IPO market is heating up. We have a big IPO coming this month. I'm gonna talk about that. We have two stocks um, that reported today earnings. All right, two stocks that I like reported earnings today, and just talking about building wealth, right? And the whole process of building wealth and how being a being a trader, right, can help you accelerate your wealth, right? And but being not only being a trader, being a profitable trader, because a lot of us, we trade, but then you give the money back, right? And the goal is not to do that, not to give the money back, to find a successful way to be able to trade and keep our money in our pocket and build wealth with our money. And that's the whole system I developed in the First Fruit Stock Club. All right. So let's get into man, the SPY. I really look at the SPY. I like looking at the indexes. The indexes kind of give you an idea of where the market is going and and how we should be planning at the current moment. Because up till today, the market was trending up, right? So today we had a little drawback. I think the Dow was down close to 600 points. So now we're looking at, and I said June is tricky. Like you'll be up 1 second and then down the next. So now the process is, the thought process is, hey, are we is this a trend? Like, are we headed down for the month of June, or is this just a bounce? It's a time to buy the dip. I mean, that was buying a dip has been a great strategy so far, right? But in the month of June, you do have to be a little bit more careful. But also, you can look at it as, hey, the month of June is a great month to get in position, right? To get some discounts, right? If the market trades down, the month of June can help us do those particular things. So we want to take all those things into account. But look, all in all, we are always in the market. We're always trading, and we're always finding opportunities in the market where they exist, right? And in June may not present an opportunity right away, but maybe coming out of June or maybe the middle of June. So we just have to be ready and prepared in this month. So this is, like I said, this is the month where, like I said, I may be looking at 100% profit, 200% profit on some of my contracts, but this is the month I'm okay with. And I was telling my club, I say I'm okay with 30%. Like the further we get into June, if we get a 30, 20%, I'm selling, right? I'm selling the contract, and I'm putting my money to the sideline and making sure that I have I have more money, right? When the better opportunities come. And June does present opportunities. So also, these are some things you want to look for in June. Triple witching, right? The middle of June triple witching, where options expire, right? That can cause some volatility in the market, right? And then people don't know that, if you think about it, June is the end of the second quarter, right? It's the end of the second quarter. So you have to look at the big funds, right? And what's going on. So I remember Warren Buffett said this particular statement. He says that uh, income, compensation, he said compensation affects behavior, right? And the end of June is the end of the second quarter. So, the big funds and the big hedge funds, and they come to the second quarter and they want to have a profitable second quarter, right? So they may be exiting some plays, right? Or they may be pumping up the plays, to get the liquidity so they can exit some of the plays. So we have to be careful, and we have to watch out, and we have to pick our battles and our opportunities. We have to be strategic and picking those opportunities. So June, like I said, is going to produce some opportunities for us, but also some challenges. So we just have to be prepared, and we have to map it out. Secondly, man, so this is the wild card in June, right? SpaceX, right? So these are some fast stats. Expected ticker to be SPCX, right? It's going to be listed on the Nasdaq and the Nasdaq Texas Exchange. If you don't know, Texas recently opened up. I don't know if recently. I have to look at when did they open up, but they have their own Nasdaq exchange, right? Expected IPO price is 135 per share, and this is so interesting. I was telling my club, I said, look, currently in the private market, to buy a share of SpaceX is about $600, right? But what they're doing is they're going to split the shares, right, and distribute the shares so that everyone gets an opportunity to buy the ETF, the large ETFs, right? You have the large ETFs, you have and all the different companies, the pension plans, everybody who wants a piece of it, they want to have enough shares available, right? But they're not going to be all available all at once. And that's one thing I'm going to talk to my club about, right? There's going to be a strategic way that they're going to distribute the shares. They're going to let the shares go to the public. All right. So the potential valuation is 1.75 trillion, and possible trading start report as soon as mid-June 2026. Elon Musk expected to be had the dominant control after the IPO. And this is important because there's been a lot of discussion about will Tesla uh, be uh, I guess merged with SpaceX, right? And everyone discussed this way before. Will Tesla be merged? And that's one of the discussions. And if you think about it, if he has the dominant voting control after the IPO, right? So, you know, it just lets you know that what might happen. All right. Of course, Tesla investors they're gonna have to approve that, but I mean, it's more than likely. He's made a lot of people a lot of money, and some people are diehard. If you're a Tesla shareholder, some people are diehard Tesla shareholders, and they'll vote him regardless. So Tesla may be swallowed up by SpaceX. So that's going to be interesting. But also with the IPO, so if we look at it mid June and say we have a little downdraft, which we started today, and also the futures are looking us down, so we might open up down tomorrow. Okay, when you have an IPO like SpaceX, it creates a frenzy in the market. It creates um, attention and creates basically a frenzy of people looking at it, and the attention is people looking to purchase who may not even be investors in the market. And what's that going to do is that create um, will create a lot of liquidity coming to the market with the promotion of it, with the advertising of it. it'll basically create a lot of liquidity coming to the market. That means that, of course, people bringing their shares, bringing it to the market, looking to buy, looking to create a looking to buy and looking to SpaceX. I think it's going to be it's going to be a lot of demand not only for SpaceX, but the market probably will jump as a whole. But on the second part, they're saying that will SpaceX suck up all the liquidity in the market? Okay, will it suck up all liquidity in the market? 'Cause they're saying, well, people might have to sell some of the things they currently have to buy to participate in a SpaceX IPO. All right, so we'll see how this pans out. But these are some of the plans we have to make, right, in regards to trading in June and how the SpaceX IPO will affect if we have some trades in, uh we have some swings in right now, swing trades in, right? And it affect our entries and our exits. So, and we'll see how that moves on. So let's move on from there. All right. So we had two companies that I really, really like report earnings. CrowdStrike, cybersecurity company. I think it's one of the top two. But man, it's and after hours is down $83. I think it's like 5% or 9%, I think, in after hours. Um, basically, I mean, it was such a small miss. I think the miss was like 1 cent, but that's a lot of money. And but shareholders don't like it. I think this, of course. Oh, let me get to this. And if you like this information, please like, subscribe, and share. I'm trying to get my information to like, subscribe, and share the show. Let everyone know that the show is available. When you like it, subscribe, and share, more people get to see the content. Also, um, the information provided in the First Fruit Stock Club is for education, information purpose only, and should not be considered financial investment, tax, legal advice. The views expressed by the host and the guests are their own and do not reflect the opinions of any financial institution or regulatory authority. Investing in stocks and other securities carries risk, including potential loss of principal. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Always conduct your own research and consult with a licensed financial professional before making any investment decisions. The First Fruit Stock Club and its affiliates do not guarantee any specific outcomes or returns. By listening to this podcast, you acknowledge that you are responsible for your own investment decisions. All right. So, so CrowdStrike is reporting. Like I said, they're down $83. This is what we're discussing. How June can put strain on the market, but this may be an opportunity. I hold both of these stocks. Well, I'm sorry, I do not own CrowdStrike. I own Broadcom. Right? Maybe it's time to add to put CrowdStrike in my portfolio, or time to do a swing trade on it. I have to look at it. I really like it. I've been looking at CrowdStrike for a while, and I just never really. One of the things is that the net income on a company is not the greatest, but I mean it's one of the top two providers of cybersecurity. And as we get more into AI, I think the company will do nothing but grow its earnings. Broadcom's the semi chip maker, specialty chip maker, and man, down $65 in after hours. And once again, they were below second quarter. I think they were below second quarter estimates also, and they're down. So these are two companies to look at. Man, they're down. I love when the stocks that I have that they're down. This may be an opportunity, but risk. Invest at your own risk. But these are two sound, financially sound companies that are growing. When you look at it, the demand and of chips, of course, I really like Broadcom. But you look at even the demand of cybersecurity, CrowdStrike, right? The demand is there. That means the future is there. That means the stock market these companies will compound their earnings. And as they compound and grow over time, that's what creates the stock price to increase. All right. Man, The last segment that I want to get into, man, is wealth segment and discussing how most traders aren't profitable, right? And I really focus on this, when I created a club, and I was like, well, 90%, what's the reason? Right. And one of the reasons is over trading. Right. A lot of people over trade. Especially because think about it. A lot of people will only trade when the market is doing well, which makes sense, right? It makes sense. When the market is doing well and the market is running up and the stocks are running up, most people will only trade at that time. Well, what happens is the market will take a rest, right? And sometimes as an investor, as a, if as a trader, you'll get a swing trader, you'll get so into it, and man, you just just hitting out of the park. You're getting 100%, 30% on your gains, but then you don't know when to draw back, right? You don't know when to draw back and say, hey, I'm okay with what I have. And that's a human trait. That's a behavioral trait that for you to be able to say, okay, I've done pretty well. Let me sit back. Let me stay in cash. And let me stay in cash and let me look back at how the market is going to pan out. And like I said, in June is one of those months that you should be doing that anyway, because it's a tricky month to navigate, right? And hopefully, this is just 2 down days. We don't know, you always have to see how tomorrow's going to close, but we know we closed down today. So the objective is that when we are trading, right, when we're swing trading, is to be profitable, right? And we need to be profitable by knowing when to say when. It's like, it's like in the movies, where you had the guy sitting at the bar and the bartender is like, man, you don't need any you don't need any more. Like, no, no, I'm not gonna serve you anymore. And the guy, the drunk is like, oh, I just need one more. You don't need one more, right? You have to know when to say when. And you probably need a system for that, right? Probably need a system for that. And then, I mean, you can still, like I said, I'm not saying that you are going to stop investing in June because I still have some contracts in June, right? And I see opportunities. I just saw two good opportunities there with Broadcom and CrowdStrike that I might look at opening. But if you do have some opportunities that have been up, might want to look at taking some profits from those. Nothing wrong with taking profits, right? And if you have a problem with that, maybe you need a system to teach you how to take profits. Our goal, I'm saying in a club is what we do is, we develop a system to help you take profits, but not only to help your account generate money, rather you're trading or not trading, right? And I'm gonna put together like a free PDF, a freebie, maybe by next our next show next week. I have a freebie that I'll give out to help you if you're having some problems being profitable and you're looking at having a system. I have a freebie that I'll give out to you to help you out. And I can tell you because I have been unprofitable. Like June has beat me up. But I've learned, over time, and I'll show my stats next when I come on. I've been last 2 years. It's been volatile 2 years, but I've been able to be up a few 100% on my account, and that's what it's all about. All right, so man, thank you for coming, giving me a few moments of your time for another show. Man, building wealth, right? Being a profitable trader, right? Doing the things that you need to do. Like I was telling my kids, doing a sacrifice. I'm always in the market, even while I'm watching the game. Even while I'm watching the game, I'll be looking in the market, seeing the opportunities out there. We meet tomorrow. All right, so everybody in the First Fruit Stock Club, thank you for watching me. We meet tomorrow at 9 o'clock. I'll see you then. And man, everybody out there. Be fruitful. Till next time, God willing. Bye bye.
The market is volatile. The stocks keep going down. Then boom, we hit new highs. Everything is different now, but you don't gotta chase. Don't panic, don't stress. Time to realign, plan it out, invest. It's the First Fruits Podcast. We elevating with the First Fruits Podcast. No time for waiting, time to grow, give back, reinvest like that. Everything you need to know, the First Fruits Podcast. Let's go. Thank you.